we do have ESL Open Cup Asia number 54, the grand finals. Finally, we have finished up the vetoes. We are here. We're ready.
Indeed, we are. We're starting things off. The grand finals.
Yeah, and it is going to be on Romanticide with this beautiful, lovely TvZ. I honestly, I don't know how this is going to turn out. Like, again, we didn't get to catch that lower semifinals. We don't know what transpired there, so we're in for a treat.
We definitely are. Glide was... No, I don't think Glide was covering the lower semis either. That was Mint Crystal and, if I'm not wrong, Bel Air, I want to say?
I think so.
That it was. But speaking of lower, we are here spawning in the lower right-hand corner map, all the way in the lower right-hand corner of Romanticide LE. LE, of course, standing for Lovers Emancipation. Lovers Emancipation. That's a thing or another. Abraham Lincoln. We have the red Terran player coming out from South Korea. He is representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. And he definitely seems to come up during these spring times. Give it up for Cure.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg player. We've been following him for the majority of the broadcast today. He is representing Team Africa Freaks. It is Armani.
Now, I got a hypothesis for you, Light. Do you think Cure is so strong at the early months of each year because of seasonal allergies?
Do you think the sneezes give him power?
I think he's secure to seasonal allergies.
Right, wait, do you think it's everyone else? Everyone else is sneezing, but he isn't.
Exactly. He has a cure.
And he does, and he keeps it all to himself.
What a guy.
Oh god, it's possible. I miss that. I miss like the summer of Tasia and stuff like that. Like these seasonal periods where
hero.
Yeah, I mean you could argue like SOS was kind of like that as well, where he really just, it wasn't really seasonal, but whenever there was a big global event, that's when he really yeah.
Of course, he also had your innovations, where for a while he would just win the 3rd season of Code S. None of the other ones.
Yep.
Only season 3.
Just season 3. Oh boy, we'll see.
Yeah, it's got to be something about how the planets align.
We'll see if that comes into play here. We'll see if Cure is able to take advantage of the season, as you know, he is here across the map. So far, things are pretty standard. Once again, from the Terran, we see the delayed starport. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a very standard Reaper expand coming up from Cure, but the amount of damage he's doing is anything but. Honey, slipping a little.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe any. Yeah, none of the drones have gone down quite yet, but you know, a couple of lings were shaved off.
Yeah, it's a little more than you'd expect, though. And of course, Cure going with the nice standard economic 3cc before starport.
Exactly, so he's focusing on the more economic side of things so far. This is something that we saw earlier today with a time as well, and almost got the drone.
Almost gets that drone, but Armani with these super quick reactions. And you were saying, like, we did see 3cc before starport coming up from time a little earlier on. Do you think Armani is warmed up now?
I mean, I would have to say both of them are, right? Like that's what's so exciting about these finals, where Armani dealt with time earlier, Cure just swept the floor with Solar in the semifinals. So they're both ready, they're warmed up, they're ready for this grand finals. But is Cure ready for this fast roach one?
Yeah, that's some question marks popping up in my head. Armani making maybe taking a page out of Dark's book. trying to play Roach Ravager versus Bio. I certainly hope that's not the case.
Yeah, I mean, we Gogo Joey was playing this style earlier today against Ryung. Not the best. He didn't have the most success with it, unfortunately. But so far, this has gone unscattered. The roaches are on the way, and Cure still has no idea.
No, he does not. But inadvertently, he is kind of countering it. The Banshee's already up. Cloak is going to finish real soon. Now, depending on the amount of roaches Armani actually gets, it might not really matter in the end, but it's better to have a single Banshee to, just have that air-to-ground attack as opposed to, not having it.
Yeah, I mean, this is so important. The Reaper actually catches the sight of some of these Lings. Immediately, Armani, he goes to the other direction as he's making nothing but Lings right now. He's even, I thought he was going to start waddling the Queens. Regardless, he stopped the drone production quite some time ago.
That he did. This is a straight up 3-base rush coming down. Already able to take out a couple of these SEVs. Armory will be built.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Armani gets a nice scout.
Yeah, and look at this. Like, you're even walling off this massive ramp here on Romanticide outside of his natural, so it's going to be even more difficult. Oh, he even scans. He sees that there's no workers.
And he's getting prepared. But on the flip side, Armani not really committing too much, waiting for the Ravagers to finish up. He sent every single one of the Zerglings home, which was kind of amusing me, but now he's getting them back on track. The Banshees are here. They're looking to whittle down this army, providing so much support. The Lings come into flank and are met with Hellbats. Such a convincing hold. Cure takes game number 1. Roach Ravager Rush just wasn't in the cards here.
Yeah, GG. Like, even if Armani was able to delay that armory in the main, like, it only would have been for a couple of seconds. Like, Cure, he had just such a strong defense. That wall on the ramp was amazing as well. It really slowed down Armani. And Cure, he just, as you said, he had what he needed.
Yes, such a convincing play. I thought for a second that Armani, as he was, moving all the Lings back, kind of thought, all right, I see the Banshees. Maybe since I already have 3 bases up, I might. It's not ideal. I'm kind of going into the mid game at a bit of a disadvantage, but I can, still try to salvage this, right? I can still just try to be greedy and drone up and, try to go into the mid game. But I guess Armani just didn't favor his chances.
Yeah, he was committed. Yeah, definitely. He wanted to end the game then and there. Unfortunately, Cure's defensive position was just beautiful.
That hit really was. It was art. Those depots, aesthetic. Hashtag aesthetic. But speaking of depots, here's the player who built those depots here in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, spawning all the way in the top of the left-hand corner. He is the Red Terran player coming out from Atlanta, Korea, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, TvZ. Immune to any of those allergies you might get in this January month, he is Cure.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Afrika Freaks. It is Armani.
And I'm just now realizing something that is disappointing me a little, Light. I don't think I've ever seen a meme that had Cure in a doctor's outfit.
Right? Why was that not like even a ceremony in Pro League or something? Like,
they put on a stethoscope or something, or maybe it's because his name was Cure, not Doctor.
I guess. I mean, maybe they wouldn't allow him to like bring a syringe into the studio, which I don't. I don't blame them.
Can't really blame him. Yeah.
Oh god. Meanwhile, I don't know if you noticed, but Armani was very paranoid. He actually went around looking for proxies with his drone.
Yeah, taking a page off of Solar's book, his Zerg predecessor. Maybe he gave him some advice in between. Said, yo, watch out for proxies, man.
Maybe.
But yeah, Cure is definitely one of those Terran players, along with someone like Maru or nowadays Innovation, who will very much just switch up the way their build orders. They will really just make sure that their opponents cannot get a comfortable tempo, right? They'll go economic in game 1 and then switch it to some proxy 2 racks in game 2 and then go into more of a very turtle style game 3.
Yeah, you know, I don't think he has something that really like solidifies his style because he's so fluid when it comes to what he can whip out, what he can whip out in a series. So yeah, that is one of the advantages that Cure has, as he's being as annoying as possible with this Reaper.
Yeah, fluid. That goes pretty well with his theme, you know. As a Cure, you inject.
You inject the fluid. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it could be eye drops.
Oh boy.
But yeah, Armani just doing the standard Zerg thing, you know, not committing into any really tech choice just yet. He's learned his lesson from game number 1. He would much rather play this reactive.
Yeah, I can't imagine we're going to see the same thing where like where he goes for a much faster Roach Warren. I don't think that would be very smart to whip out in this series once again. Like, it is a best of 5 and there are quite a number of games left remaining, but the way game 1 turned out, like, oh, that was rough.
That it was. I was going to make it more smooth.
Yeah, gotta whip out that sandpaper.
As Cure, we get a bit of a glimpse of what he would have liked to do if, you know, he didn't have to defend against a Roach Ravager push. Still continuing with the Banshees as well as the Hellions, but now just moving across the map. He has the ability to, you know, actually be on the map this time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he has that freedom. He doesn't have to worry or be concerned about the roaches or anything like that as he is getting into the game that he wanted to. Meanwhile, Armani, likewise, he's droning up. He's getting his lair. Like, he hasn't thrown down any kind of big tech structure. Oh, he has to be careful, though.
Yeah, 2 Hellions, they can really do a lot. But he is chasing this down, almost losing Reaper! You do not want to lose that Reaper! That's quite a bit of... Okay, I'm overselling it a little. You can't afford to lose a Reaper, but, you know, that KD8 charge, you do not want to overestimate how many times that can get you out of a jam when you do commit across the map with a couple more Hellions.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it is such a good support unit here in the early game alongside all of these Hellions as more do meet up with the Reaper.
And now it's pretty much a standard Terran thing, you know, just poking around the Hellions and then trying to find an angle to come into the Banshees.
Yeah, meanwhile, Armani isn't cutting any corners. He isn't going for like incredibly fast upgrades with double Evo or anything like that. He isn't going straight into Spire either. He's just getting his lair and slowly getting into Banelings and playing this out pretty normal for a Zerg.
Yeah, here come the Evo chambers at, you know, the standard timing. And just going for some Ling Bane coming up. So again, just pretty much what we've come to expect from Armani if these past series are anything to go off of. Oh, actually, a little bit of a fast Baneling speed. This is a light.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he's deciding to prioritize, right? Like, you could get a delayed Baneling speed if he got his Evo Chambers faster, focusing on his 1-1. But this time, he does want a faster Baneling speed. To me, that doesn't necessarily signify aggression. That's more like safety to me, just to make sure he has that for any kind of push.
That, on its own, I think it normally would be, but he is getting his 1-1. Are we thinking timing attack light?
Yeah, so far, like, that is what he's working towards. I mean, to be fair, he's also taking the rest of his gases. I imagine what we saw versus time was Ling Bane Muta, so if he does decide to go further in this game, I imagine he's going to throw the Spire down anytime, any moment.
Hence why Cure is just looking to slow down this economy as much as he can. Already 8 drones going down, which doesn't seem like much, but you know, that just means that, you know, 8 less mutas. Let's say they have to worry about later on.
Ooh, and speaking of mutas, yeah, speaking of mutas, we don't see mutas here. Hopefully he's able to. Oh god, it's so close.
Oh, you gotta cancel it. Cancels right at the last second.
Jesus Christ.
Will not be getting that drone back, but at least he didn't lose 300 minerals for nothing. Hydrogen coming down there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this time he is not going for the Spire, which is pretty interesting. Instead, Armani opting to go for Hydralisks.
It's been a while since I've seen Hydraling Bane against Bio Terran Light. Or Terran just in general, but I guess Armani has a plan. I mean, to me, this is signifying that He wants to eventually go into lurkers, which has been, pretty popular in these past couple of months. Not as much in ZVT compared to ZVP, I would say, but you still do see it every other ZVT.
I would say it's not as popular in the Korean meta. This is something that we see a lot. Yeah, a lot more from the European Zergs, but at least here in ESL Asia, like the reason why we say that is because we typically don't see like Solar and Armani and Ragnarok whip this out too often.
I think for the longest time it was just Solar who was the only Korean Zerg player who said, "Yo, lurkers are pretty good."
Yeah.
Zero might be onto something.
I mean, Dark still goes for it quite often, but obviously he goes for it after roaches, right? Like he has a completely different style of play.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can even count that at that point. Alright, Cure splitting up his army so effectively, getting a little bit dicey with these Marines, but does evacuate them.
Yeah,
Export is really far in the back.
Honestly, I imagine Armani's wishing he did go for meters. Like, when you're up against like a bio tank like this, like meters can do so much, like to try and keep your opponent on your toes. It looks like he's trying to go for a surround.
Yeah, no special anti-airs. He would have liked, and the surround does manage to hit. Tanks do get taken out. Cure, he's on the back foot, but he is also very far off a creep. Even sniping a couple of banelings in that retreat. And now the reinforcements come in. Cure is not stopping. Doesn't quite have the tank count that he wants. But I don't know, like, a couple of good splits. There's not too many banelings for Armani.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we'll see how good the splits are.
Even less of a buffer for them.
Oh my god, all the banelings go down. The problem is that so much of the gas was kind of wasted on these Hydras. There's barely any banelings left.
I think the main concern for me, Light, is where are the Lings? They're getting body blocked by the Hydras. They cannot buffer for those banelings. And Cure, he's just retreating back. Beautiful splits, beautiful stop command to make sure that only a couple of Marines take the brunt of that damage. More reinforcements are pouring in. That fourth base, I mean, it doesn't go down, but all of the mining has been completely denied. Baneling's getting wasted, and Cure, he ain't letting up, Light.
Exactly. More and more reinforcements are coming across the map as he rallies all of his reinforcements. And as you said, like, there's no banelings whatsoever. These are the only banelings coming here for Armani. So there is an opportunity for Cure to just keep pressuring that fourth base.
Man, that control coming out from Cure has been just so clean coming out from him. It wasn't the flashiest micro in the world like you might see from someone like Bjorn, but he knew exactly what he needed to do. He split up his reads just so efficiently.
Exactly, and you know what's terrifying is that 3-3 is on the way for Cure. Like, he is not stopping with his bioaggression. Meanwhile, Armani, he's only just now starting Hive.
I'm looking at this base, Light, and I'm honestly kind of feeling for Armani. He got that macro hatch because this is a very, larva intensive composition coming out for him. But it doesn't really matter either way. His Ling Bane has been completely canceled by the Biotank of Cure.
Yeah, on top of that, like, there's no creep spread in this area whatsoever. Like, all the creep has been denied, so it makes it even harder for the Ling Bane to engage.
Oh, here comes the Surroundo. The Banelings to the west did get taken out, and the Banelings to the east are getting taken out too. Cure, he's steamrolling his way through. Look at the supply difference. GG is called. Cure. Armani was on a roll. Cure was on, what's the step up from a roll, Light? An Avalanche. Sonic.
Oh my god, there's nothing stopping Armani. Not in this matchup, as he's already on match point, already up 2-0 against Armani.
He is the Zerg. You can't even call him the Zerg killer. He does it so cleanly, so surgically. He's a cure to Zerg.
He is.
What can you say?
He is here to purify the Zerg, and god, like, that's just that was so rough for Armani. Like, yeah, I thought so as well. But like, there was no creep spread there outside the fourth base. Like, again, he barely had any banelings every single time. There weren't even necessarily splits from Cure. It was just like, there was, as you were saying, there was no buffer for the banelings, so that they would just evaporate before they landed, collided with the bio.
It was not the most efficient use of your larva.
Oh boy.
But now he's on match point. No King match yet. Did Armani host this? No, Cure hosted this. I'm not sure if you are having it too, like
Yeah.
beeps.
Yeah, I hear the beeps. I hear the beeps. Oh god. I mean, we ran into this earlier, so hopefully we can just remake and get back into this, but yeah, things are not looking good for Armani at the moment. To be fair, like, he did kind of put himself behind in game one, where he went for that big all in, and after that, like, he's been trying to find his footing, but like Ling Bane Hydra, it's so much more difficult to make that work against like a tank based composition, and Cure like was just unrelenting.
Absolutely, and I will say that Armani, to his credit, isn't so much of a he isn't too emotional of a player. So he can definitely bounce back, but Cure, with all that momentum, it's not just that he's already on match point 2-0. It's also that he took those 2 games so convincingly. He's got to be feeling more than warmed up. Hopefully not overheated, but...
Yeah, hopefully we'll see if maybe he can attempt to bring this back here in game number 3 as we are loading in. I'm not too sure what's going to happen here, what's going to happen to the overlays. I don't know if you noticed, but this isn't WCS Game Heart.
Oh.
This is Observer Plus. I believe this is the new add-on that I almost said Go-Go Joey. Nice username made.
All right. Well, we'll see how much things change. I'm gonna be critiquing you a bit here, Joey. Not Go-Go Joey, other Joey. Nice username, Joey.
There you go.
It's a nice username and also a pretty nice name. All right. But speaking of nice names, we are here on Oxide LE. We be breathing, we be oxidizing. And this man, he knows a thing or two about oxygen machines, I imagine. As he is the Red Terran players finding the top right corner map, coming down from Atlanta, Korea, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, TvZ, practicing against some of the scariest Zerg players in Korea, and now in front of him, just another one of them. He is Cure.
And in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have our Zerg player, our South Korean Zerg player, who's down 0-2 in this best of 5. He needs to bring it back, or this is his final game of the evening. He is representing Team Afrika Freaks. It is Armani.
Oh boy. So game number 1, we saw Armani go for a Roach Rush. Game number 2, played it a little more standard, although we went into Ling Bane Hydra, which isn't that standard nowadays. What's game 3 going to be like for Armani? I imagine he still wants to play it by ear, you know, react to what Armani, or rather react to what Cure is going to throw his way, but we'll see.
Yeah, I hope Armani does bring it back to the more Ling Bane Muta style. Like, the thing is, like, we saw Armani versus Time, and Armani looked so strong. He looked so, not just strong, but like confident, and like he looked amazing in his series earlier today, earlier in this tournament. But here it feels like he's playing this a little bit scared, a little bit unsure of himself. He feels like he has to do, you know, he has to try and sneakily do other things to catch his opponent off guard instead of playing out his normal game. He feels unconfident. I think that's the word that I was going for. Yeah.
He feels like his seasonal allergies are creeping up, and because of that, Cure is just gonna take advantage.
Exactly. His nose be running.
And Cure is saying, I have a solution to that.
Yeah.
It's called a Reaper.
Oh my god, it's called Bio. It's the Marine, it's the man with gun.
Oh, it's called Biotank. This new medicine coming up. No, actually that's the name of water coolers.
There you go.
Not wrong. Saw one at like a Japanese store that said Biotank, and I said, wait a minute. I did the Spider-Man meme. Just pointed at it.
Did you buy it?
I did not.
God damn it.
Yes, my sister bought it.
Oh boy! All right. Well, I mean, I almost said Ryang. Cure is doing Cure things. Like so far, he's just opening up standard. This is the way he's been opening up every single game with that faster TC. Right now, we're just looking at Armani. Like, is he gonna cut worker production at some points and go for a big all in? Is he gonna be a little bit more greedy? Maybe focus on his upgrades. Is he gonna go for the Spire? Is he gonna go for Hydras again?
Yeah, my eye is on the top left-hand corner of the production bar light, just trying to see what Armani goes into. Also because I kind of want to see what the differences are with Server Plus. But mostly because I want to see what Armani is building. It is starting to drone up. But when we get to that, 55 drone mark, that is going to be the big tell. Will Armani just go into, what is Armani going to tech switch into at that point?
Oh, that's going to be the big question, as so far Armani is diving in with his Overlord. He does see the opener, which was the faster TC. He does see the 111 and the tech lab being researched.
Okay. So he knows what's coming his way. He's had 2 games to warm up against this kind of build. Cure obviously getting some very nice damage on game number 2 when he, was actually able to sneak those Banshees in. We'll see how well Armani's going to deal with this. Already keeping the Queens a lot far further in the front. Oh, but the Zergling's light. They're not here to help.
Oh, no, they're not. They're busy dealing with those rocks. But so far, the Queens were enough to push them away.
For the time being, high ground advantage. Really being utilized. Mowing down those Lings.
Yeah, as behind this Armani. Yeah?
I think Armani wants to be aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, the Bailing Nest is about to finish up. We do have the Lair finishing up as well, so we'll see if he prioritizes Bailing speed as he did in the previous game. Oh god, he just killed his own creep tumor.
Ouch. When you're so aggressive, you have to shoot anything, including your own stuff. Yeah, Evo Chambers is not being made at the moment for Armani. He was working on opening up that attack path. All right, there they are now. I was thinking that Armani might try to go for a quick little Ling Bane to, maybe try to just get some damage down on the third base or something like that, but yeah, maybe not quite the case here.
Yeah, so far this is very reminiscent to game number 2 for Armani. Again, I hope he doesn't go for Hydras this time. We'll see what his tech of choice is going to be. Surprisingly, even though the Lair finished up, like, we still don't see anything being utilized for that Lair. Like, there's still no gas. Oh, sorry, Bailing speed.
Great kill on that reactor over there. It's not reactor for Zerg, it's refinery.
Refinery, yeah.
Wait, is it
Extractor?
Refinery? Yeah, it's refinery. Extractor. Wait, why did I say refinery?
I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Listen, words be coming out.
I mean, you're Terran, so.
Yeah, exactly. It's all just flowing together. I'm Terran, and I'm looking at the Zerg player instead of the Terran player. And Armani is doing Armani things light.
Oh boy. Okay, so we're getting Hydras. We'll see if he fares a little bit better here. Oh my god, as Cure is getting ready for, it looks like a Hellbat push, or just lining up 2-2 after this.
Yeah, just a standard bio push, trying to line up that 2-2. But of course, added benefit to that armory. All of these Hellions that were kept alive throughout the entire game, they're gonna be more from the Hellbats. So they pack quite a lot more of a punch against Lings than normal Hellions do.
Definitely. Thankfully, Armani did deal with those rocks, so now he does have that pathway available to him. Bailing speed is still only halfway done, and the push is here outside the doorstep of Armani.
But I will say for Armani, like, the creep spread is looking really good. So sure, Bailing speed isn't quite done yet, but, as long as he works with the terrain to his advantage, he should be able to buy himself enough time to completely deflect this. This lone tank!
God, it was so far back.
Jesus, a little bit of a misnomer. No, that's not the right word.
Misdemeanor.
Discrepancy here for Cure. Misdemeanor. Discrepancy for Cure.
Yeah.
But we're getting that. Trying to keep that forward face alive.
Oh god, just barely. Meanwhile, there are these Lings ready to surround and pounce on that remaining tank or reinforcements.
It is. Bailing Speed has finished up. Cure, he has found a way to split against this. Armani is so far off a creep, loses so many Lings and quite a lot of Banes, but there's still quite a lot left here. He's got to be so careful moving into creep.
Oh god, the train does not stop. Here we have the reinforcements, even a tank joining the fray as well. And Armani, he used up the majority of his Banelings. Is he going to try and defend this base or give it up?
Oh, where's the buffer for the Banelings, Light? Where's the buffer for the Banelings? They have every single Zergling has been used to become a Baneling, and those that weren't went for the counterattack, surprisingly. Cure, he is playing with fire. He is on a knife's edge, but now the run by from the Lings.
Yeah, it is dealing damage. But as a result, the fourth base does go down, and the Lings do get cleaned up.
Wow, the reinforcements from Cure deals with that, and now should be starting to move across the map. I'm getting some 2014 innovation vibes coming out from Cure Light. The parade pushes just do not end.
Exactly. I mean, Armani, he's trying to go for more run-bys. This Baneling run-by might deal some damage. There are some reinforcements here.
Should be able to kill a couple of SCVs. That was such a hot pickup. I didn't even notice it, Light. I thought those Marines went down.
No, they just barely managed to escape. Unfortunately, you can't say the same for those SCVs. Meanwhile, Armani's going for a surround.
Yeah, trying to turning up his Zerglings a little bit there. The majority of the Banelings connect with the tank, Light. And the Bio has free range, once again denying this fourth base. Cure, he doesn't want to tangle with this. He knows that Armani has had a lot of time to build a lot of Zerglings and a lot of Hydras, despite how much damage he's dealt to the main army. Yeah. He does not want to tangle with that without tanks.
And honestly, Armani is respecting this a bit too much. There was an opportunity here where there was 0 Banelings, only a handful of Hydras. He could have just kept them pushing forward, but he does back off. He does play it safe, looking to reinforce his push. And now Armani, he's desperately trying to expand here to the bottom right.
Now Kira set up a multi-prong. And come in from multiple angles here.
Yeah,
no short of pop pickups. He's going to the main.
Exactly. He picks up. He goes into the main base. What is there here? Nothing in position so far.
That Spore Crawler way too far back. The entire or majority of our army does get pulled back for Cure. Trying to focus on these Banelings, and he does do a decent job. Does actually evacuate with a medevac worth of Marines as well. The main army fight is going Armani's favor for the time being.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Armani is just barely cleaning everything up. Once again, he's trying to expand, take this space. But if we even look at the army supplies, like, Cure is starting to get out of control. To be fair, thankfully, Armani is getting away with the bottom right-hand side base, so he does have that economy helping him out.
Yeah, he does. And Cure does not suspect it whatsoever. He is working on his own fourth base as well, Cure is. Just landed that. But, man, this is... I guess Cure's not so much a doctor as much as he is an acupuncture guy, because the amount of pressure... Or I guess a masseuse. Because the amount of pressure he's putting on Armani has been absolutely perfect. He does not overcommit whatsoever. Even throwing down a couple of Marauders just to make this... just to make the micro against Banelings a little easier.
Yeah, and speaking of the majority of Banelings, yeah, they all go down. There's a handful of Banelings remaining here, but there's still plenty of Marauders to help soak damage.
And look at that control clicking coming out from Cure, not losing any Marines here, or at least not a significant amount. The tanks are still up and running, and they are mowing down these Hydras. GG's call, Cure with the clean sweep. He shows himself to be the TvZ master. And I'm smelling some flowers in the air here, Light. It smells like spring of Cure.
Exactly. GG, well played. Cure dominates Armani with his just aggressive style where he just does not let up with his pressure, and Armani just crumbled. He just crumbled in the face of Cure. Like he just couldn't keep up. Like he just couldn't get the baiting connections he wanted. Every now and then he would get some nice surrounds with with Lings, but it just wasn't enough.
That it was not. And yeah, I mean, after taking out Solar 3-0 and then now Armani 3-0, this is boding well for Cure.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Like his Cure, at least in the TvZ matchup, like he's looking incredibly solid, and I think that's probably the word that I would use to describe his style, because it wasn't like flashy. It's not like he was like dropping all over the place and all these like different multi-prong attacks. It wasn't like these like insane like beyond style like micro like control. Like it was just solid, mate. You know, his pushes just didn't stop, and you know, he'd be able to control click, and yeah.
He can be a fluid or a solid, the Cure.
There you go.
Well, he's both, really. But yeah, actually, didn't really change up his style too much in this particular series. He just did the same build, but did it so well that he never felt like he needed to switch things up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, almost
went from a fluid to a solid.
Yeah, almost Zest-esque with the way that he played out the series, where he just kept doing the same thing. Obviously, we didn't get to see his series versus Solar, but it's possible that he did the same thing there as well. And yeah, just looking incredibly good. It bodes well for Cure, because as you said, like he was kind of shaky in the middle and towards the end of 2020, but now it looks like he's coming back into form.
Definitely does. As we come to kind of expect from Cure in the early months of years, but you know, I'm thinking this year, Cure, spring and summer. At the very least.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when it comes to Cure, I think a lot of it is going to come down to his TVP. For the most part, he was able to avoid the hard-hitting Protosses. He didn't have to play against Zest today. Trap didn't sign up.
What are you trying to imply about Creator here, Light?
He did play against Creator, which I mean is a feat in and of itself. But again, like we still have to see. We have to see him test his mettle against some of the other Protosses.
Yeah, Creator is not quite a Trap, to say the least. I'm rooting for him this year, but he's not quite at that that top tier level as of yet.
Yeah.
When it comes to Protoss players.
Eventually he'll get there, though, I'm sure of it. But regardless, congratulations, Cure. He is our champion. I actually want to check here. Did he even drop a single map today? My god.
I don't think so, yeah. He did not.
Wow. I didn't even notice this, but yeah, he didn't drop a single map today. He just 2-0'd and 3-0'd his way to victory.
And Katowice is, 3-4 weeks away?
Yeah.
Not mistaken.
Hopefully he can keep this up.
This is all the form he needs. Well, maybe not all the form he needs, but this is 90% of the form he needs. Well, maybe not 90% of the form he needs, but it's boding well.
Yeah, definitely. So, especially if you're a Cure fan, like this was an insane run for him this week, and it's refreshing as well, because often we don't get Terran champions. We didn't get to touch on that either, but it's typically a Protoss or a Zerg. Like very rarely does someone like Cure or TY show up and perform here.
I think the last one was Dream back in November.
A while ago, yeah.
And of course, before him, it was a solid 4 months, I want to say. Something like that. So Funara, Maru, and TY, and Innovation, and all the other, top tier Terran players in Korea. If you're wondering why we don't get to see them too often, well, so am I.
Exactly. So really well done, and congratulations to all the players who made it to the top 4, who get to walk away with some money. As a reminder, no EPT points this week. We're done with the EPT points as the standings are being locked in for IEM Katowice. But despite that, even though these weeklies don't provide those points, they are still going to continue to run and provide prize money to the players.
Yeah, nice little bit of incentive there. And especially because, the lead up to a big tournament like IEM Katowice, that's a lot more incentive for players to not sign up, right? It's more incentive for them to say, okay, I don't want to show off what I've been practicing or what have you. You do get a lot of times where you have players like Trap or whatnot just play in these online events, but then they don't show off anything of what they've been practicing. They're just like, okay, let's see how far I can go just off the back of my fundamentals, and then they play in their tournament the next day, and then just play a completely different style.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, having surprise money is definitely incentive.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And if you want to tune into some more StarCraft action, ESL Pro Tour EU is going to be starting up in 4.5 hours, so that is available to you there. But if you want some more CranKy Ducklings casting, then as you can see here on the weekly schedule, we'll be live in about 11 hours. I'm gonna go to bed, wake up, and we will be casting ESL Open Cup Americas.
Ooh.
Yes, for the very first time. It's something that we've been talking about for a long time, like, maybe we should cast it. But now we finally are. I'm going to be joined by Milk and Cookies.
Ooh, the resident American, obviously.
OTP.
Have to make it fitting. And shout out to Sinistra in this chat. There's a bug. Cure is the cure.
Yep, exactly. But yes, so if you want some more CranKy Ducklings action, we will be live with ESL Americas, ESL Open Cup Americas, I should say. Sinistra will be there adminning as well, so we will be joining him there. And yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in today. Thank you, Yaku, for joining me as well.
You too. Thank you to Quirky. Special shout out for covering as well.
Mm-hmm.
The first half of this tournament.
Definitely. And Yaku, where can the people find more of you?
MS Word as deadlines are looming. Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1, Twitter.com @Empora Yakuzaku, ! Discord in the chat. Find myself as well as the other members of CranKy, like Quirky, and a lot of the others if you feel like yelling at us in there. Mm-hmm. But apart from that, buy my shirts. Where can we find you, Light?
Light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter if you want to follow me there, as I do stream occasionally. But more importantly, as you can see on the screen right now, follow us on all the social medias: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. The Ducklings are all over the place. And as you can see, we are going to be getting into the swing of things once again. It is the beginning of the year, and we already have all of our weeklies lining up once again. SDO, GPO, Demi-C Weekly, Sentimental Latino. It's all coming back. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, or everyone enjoyed, like a bit of a break from StarCraft in the early weeks of January, but that's it. That's over. We've got plenty more StarCraft. Time to ladder, exactly. But with that, yeah?
I see you, everyone in chat who is, enjoying the off season.
Mm-hmm. Myself included.
Get that whip. Get everyone back in shape.
Exactly. So thank you everyone for tuning in. If you do want to get in shape, then stay tuned because we are going to be raiding Hearthstone. Hearthstone right now is going over some of Trap's replays, I believe, or not. I can't quite tell. It looks like he's playing Zerg right now, but we'll be raiding him, so do give him some love.
And the trumpets.
Thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back in 11 hours.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bella.